Hello and welcome to the Nameless Ones. My name is Aveen and I am your soul transformation coach and angel healer. So here we are in March 2023 and these are your energy updates and your angel messages for March. So I'm calling this month Manifesting March, because there is so much potential for positive change, for movement forward. There is a prosperous amount of resources available to you this month. I am loving the energies, the forecast for March. Dare I say this will be the most transformative month of this year for most people, for the collective. And you will be taking quantum leaps in your consciousness in the month of March. So this is a good time to create exciting new experiences. If you want to make a change, do it this month, because there is so much cosmic, heavenly support. There is an open energy all around you. So let's just look at some of the really positive things about this time. It's a really good time to get energy moving in situations in your life. So the resources, the circumstances, the internal processing is in support of your timeline shift now. And I am just back from holidays in the Gran Canaria Islands, and I felt at the very start of March there was this big timeline shift. So I wonder if some of you felt that also. You can leave it in the comments if you notice that. It literally felt like death and rebirth all at once, as though there was a cleansing, there was a clearing, a cleansing out of sadness, of grief, of the old. And at the same time, there was a welcoming into the space that I had created over the past two and a half years. So what I was told from Spirit was the dark night of the soul that began with COVID in 2020 is now complete. It's done. So that energy, that was an incredible triggering time. It was a purge collectively, and especially those who were devoted to their ascension. We had to go through literally awakening after awakening, ascending after ascension after ascension. So it was like being in one of the toughest universities, spiritual schools. And if you did your schooling and you did your internal work, and you also matched your actions in your external world with your internal world, you will certainly be plucking the fruit from the seeds of the tree that has grown from that time. So we've made that timeline shift now, so we're standing on new fertile soil. This is definitely a time of rebirth. So internal integration is something the angels are saying to me as well. So dramatic shifts and healing states throughout the month. So you will be doing a lot of deep healing. A lot of profound wisdom and truths will be surfacing also for you. You'll be processing grief, sadness and old wounds and releasing the past. You'll be releasing attachments and you'll be cutting cords. So while I was on the plane taking my journey abroad, I did lots of meditation, and there was a particular cord cutting that I had found. Sometimes we can cut cords and they can grow back. But I felt when I did this cord cutting, it was the last final time. And it felt very complete. So we have endings and beginnings all happening at once. There's a lot going on this month, but it's all motion forward. It's acceleration. March is a time of acceleration. So that the COVID transit, that energy from the dark night of the soul, is over and complete. There's quantum leaps present now, okay? So what was once wasn't moving, whatever was stuck, is actually getting its wheels spinning again. So I'm being shown the image of a big tractor stuck in a big muddy landscape, but the wheels start to spin. And it might have felt like you were spinning your wheels in the last few years, but you didn't feel like that tractor was going to get out of that mud. But actually, there's a traction built up now. The grit from processing and healing your pain, your issues, your triggers has created like grit in the mill, so to speak. So the tractor's actually up and out of that muddy landscape, back on the road, and it's moving forward. So they're just saying again, cleansing, grounding. Grounding is especially important at this time. And I'm kind of laughing to myself because I especially know the power of grounding, because it's something that I can get ungrounded quite easily. Not as much as in my youth. I used to be very, very out of my body a lot of the time. But as I've gotten older, I've really used the discipline of grounding and felt the benefits of it. So if you are in an environment where you're able to take your shoes and socks off, please do so. It's so important to earth yourself and put the soles of your feet, the chakras in your feet, down on terra firma, on organic ground, and make sure that it's somewhere that is natural. So natural soil, natural grass, not plastic grass. You know, you want to be out in nature. You want to be. So I spent a lot of time, as much as possible, in the sea, walking along the beach. Walking on soil is so good for us, and grounding is vital at this time. Because like I said, there's a lot going on for you. There's a lot of movement. There's a lot of acceleration. You're doing a million things at once this month. Your body, your soul is active in getting the energy spinning again. So it's important to be grounded. Now, discipline as spiritual medicine is what they've said. I'll say that again. Discipline as spiritual medicine. So I'm just listening to what they have to say about that. So this is a time, they're saying discipline in a beneficial way, not in a harsh self-flagellation way, not at all, but in a self-love way, in a way that says, I'm not going to put myself last on the list anymore. So if you've put yourself way down the list, this is a great time for you to say the discipline to say no to others who are demanding on your time and energy. The discipline to tell your family, Mama needs to come first right now. I need to prioritize my goals, my intentions, my priorities are my focus right now. So that's the kind of discipline we're talking about. Also discipline with your spirituality, walking the walk and talking the talk. Are you meditating every day? The maximum you want is like, if you can do 15 minutes, well, that's the minimum, but that's also enough. That's more than enough. So it's a minimum and a maximum. 15 minutes is very, very little time in your day to set aside, just to quiet your mind and to listen. I always say prayer is asking and meditation is listening. Are you listening? This is a really important time to be listening, because, as I said, you will be busy. There'll be a lot happening, and there'll be a lot of celebration. There's I'm seeing a lot of celebration, fairies, angels, orbs. So there's lots to celebrate for some of you out there. But again, in that celebration, in those high vibrations, stay connected to your body and stay grounded. Okay? So discipline as a spiritual medicine. For some of you, that's going to be allowing yourself to do stretches every day, yoga, meditation, eating more green food, more rainbow colorful foods, more plant foods, foods that grow from trees and grow from the ground. And perhaps getting for someone or some people, they need to flip their diet. So doing something very different, not just sticking with the same color foods, the same old foods. Flip that and introduce some diversity, because your body is needing other nutrients and other energies and other frequencies. If we eat the same food all the time, we're not getting a full multivitamin, mineral intake. So the ability to know when it's time to shake things up. It's like your body. If you do the same workout all the time, if you only lift weights all the time, this would be a month where you might flip it and start doing more running, more cardio, more walking, or just work on like different body parts. So lots of diversity, lots of positive change to bring in fresh energy, because there is a lot of new frequencies to be welcomed in. Now, they're also saying it's an acceptance of, this is a time of acceptance of profound wisdom and truths. So uploads, people call it downloads. I kind of intentionally call it uploads, because I like rising up in frequency, but it's all the same meaning. Uploads, downloads, you know what I mean. It's where you're receiving blocks of thought from God, from spirit, from source, for you to implement in your life and in your work, especially if you're a healer. And there's a call to all healers. This was a big theme for this time that I've been getting for the last 2 weeks. So holding and sensing sacred space, first for yourself and then for others. First, holding sacred space for yourself, and then extending that out to others. So this call to all healers tells me that there's something big on the horizon, because I got this in March of 2020, before COVID happened, the pandemic. I don't feel it's not as big as that. That was huge. Like I was literally taken aside by spirit at that time. If you look back at that video, the call I did out to blue rays and crystals and light workers. But this is a call, but it's not on that grand scale. But it's like, this is your time to shine if you're a healer. This is your time to use that discipline of spiritual medicine that they're talking about. This is a really pivotal timeline for you to focus on how you work. How do you want to change how you work? Maybe you want to try out new skills. Maybe you want to start channeling if you've been pondering that or you've been afraid of that. So it is a month to give yourself a push, a healthy push. And that could go back to the discipline as well. Don't be afraid to gently push yourself and stretch outside of that uncomfortable comfort zone, because like I said, there's so much open energy. And if there's some milestone that you've been procrastinating with, some test you have to do, or some kind of milestone where you need to graduate beyond a certain point, this is a great time to do it. And so, make the time, pick up the strength, pick up the confidence, and push through that finish line right now, because there's just so much cosmic and spiritual support to get you over that line. And if you have not felt the timeline shift already, I'd say you're going to feel it in the next 2-3 weeks. So with this cleansing, I personally kept getting nosebleeds. And I notice I've been getting nosebleeds since I was a child, and I don't get them all the time. I could go for months and months and months or a year without having one. But I notice when I'm going through a deep integrative processing or healing period, I'll often get a nosebleed right at the end. And it's like, there's this old belief that a nosebleed is breaking a cold. It's the end of a cold. And I think that also ties into it represents healing, right? It's your healing is complete. So I had a nosebleed on holiday, and I also had 2 nosebleeds today, and today is the 7th of March 2023. We have a full moon at this time, and this moon is asking us to tie up any loose ends, whatever needs to be tended to, sort it out, and any little bit of crumbs left from that COVID dark night of the soul timeline, do it now. Tend to it, make the call, sort it out, clean it up. Whatever needs to be cleaned up, whatever needs to be tied up in a bow, do it now. Whenever you're watching this video, this is a sign for you. This is a message. Make the call. Do it now. Just do it. Just do it. Because the energies in the next few months will be different. They will shift. They will change, as they always do. Energy is always in flux. So the wise people out there use the energies that are happening in this present moment to their advantage. And that's why I give you these energy updates and these channeled messages, so you can use these frequencies to your benefit. That's what this is all about, so that you're prepared, so you know what you're doing. So with the body, the physical side of things, the first half of March, you should feel a surge of energy. Your energy levels should be elevating. You're probably feeling more refreshed, more vitalized. You may even be feeling very blessed. I just felt, again, I felt like celebrating all the blessings, every little morsel of blessings in my life. I feel blissed out, blessed, very, very refreshed. There's a refreshing energy to these new 5th dimensional frequencies that we are embodying. Now, if you're not feeling that, it's probably because you're keeping one foot in the old energy, and you're probably still processing some grief and sadness and old wounds or attachments. So I would gently advise you to have the self-compassion to sit with those energies and just give them your full attention and focus, so they can rise up and out of your body. Because like I said, this is not a time where we have to kind of sit still and be patient. There's other energy forecasts, other timelines where we've had no choice but to sit in the pain, or we had to really examine something. March is not about that. March is about, let's get it up and out. Let's move. Let's dance. Let's stretch. Let's take in new air. Let's see new things. A change is as good as a rest. That's kind of a big theme at this time as well. A change is as good as a rest. And that's a very old proverb, and it's very, very true. So if you get the chance to go somewhere completely new and different, and to breathe in other other colours, other textures, other air, other places, other people. There's just so much connection and accelerated transformation at this time that I feel whatever actions you take, you're going to get lots of gems of wisdom out of this month. It's certainly a month of activations, uploads, and then when you've processed whatever's lingering, it's like a whole fresh inner standing and outlook on what's next and where you are in this moment and where you're headed. And that's a beautiful thing, because for many people, they've been praying for this moment. They've been asking and wanting to just access something fresh and new. There's been a hunger for this ascended new earth frequency to be lived, embodied, right? So remember, spirit, source wants to live life through you. So you're no longer sitting on the sidelines watching. You're no longer stuck in your house or, having to wear a mask and having to be cut off from interacting with life. This is the time to start interacting, to start reaching out real time, flesh and blood, bone, sitting with people, looking into people's actual eyes. Put the screens away if you can this month, as much as you can. Put the TV away, put Netflix away. Start having real-time experiences and creating new magical memories. Manifest in March, baby. It's all here for you. Sending you so much love. Sending you lucky vibes. And saying a prayer that your prayers are answered. As I believe so much can happen for you this month. Namaste. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to show your appreciation by giving it a thumbs up, and you can subscribe. You can also find me at aveendoyle.com. I will put that in the link. I'll put the link in the description box below. Happy March.